Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our session today. My name is James Stanton. I'm an internal audit partner at DLA LLC, and I'm joined today by my colleague Robin Cyrus, who leads our national cybersecurity practice. What we're here today to talk to you about is the FTC's safeguard rule. We want to shed a little bit of light on the recent amendments and their implications to financial institutions that handle student information. So, as many of you may know, the FTC updated its safeguards rule in June 9th of 2023, bringing it in line with heightened data protection standards that we see in the financial sector typically. And this is particularly important for higher education because of the wealth of student information that you hold. So I'm going to bring in Robin here. And Robin, can you explain in simpler terms maybe what the 9 program elements and the 8 safeguard controls are and why they're important?
Yes, hello all. Absolutely, James. So the 9 program elements provide a good framework for building a comprehensive information security program. They cover everything from designating a qualified individual to oversee the program to evaluating and adjusting your security practices on a regular basis. The 8 safeguard controls are specific actions that you need to take to protect your customer information. These include things like access control, encryption, security processes for disposing of data. Together, these elements and controls create a layered defense to safeguard your student financial information. Also, I like to highlight that the FTC safeguard aligns with the NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is a well-known and industry-wide accepted framework. In particular, the NIST CSF 2.0, the NIST 800-171, and the specific controls from GLBA, which outline the best practices for protecting the sensitive information. Aligning with these standards enhances the compliance and strengthening of your data security throughout your organization.
It's great. And many institutions are concerned about the breach reporting requirements, Robin. Can you clarify what triggers a report and what the potential penalties are for noncompliance?
Yeah, yeah. So it's critical to understand the triggers for breach reporting. Generally, any unauthorized access, use, disclosures, disruption, modifications, or destruction of customer information that could harm consumers should trigger a report. Failure to report a breach can lead to severe penalties, including hefty fines, legal actions, and reputational damage that could impact the enrollment and the funding. In addition, it's essential to have a well-defined incident response plan to be in place to ensure a timely and accurate reporting.
That's some good information. Now, Robin, I know earlier you mentioned the NIST frameworks, and they seem daunting. How can an institution start aligning their programs with these standards?
Yeah. Look, aligning with the NIST framework is a process, but it's achievable. I recommend starting with a gap analysis to identify the areas where the current security practices fall short. Then prioritize by implementing the most critical controls based on the risk assessment. Then you could also consider seeking an expert assistance if needed as you navigate the technical complexities of the NIST frameworks can be challenging. And remember, the Department of Education is continuously providing guidance, but we recommend you should get ahead of the curve as soon as possible.
I think that's great advice. Robin, maybe can you talk a little bit about what are some of the common mistakes that institutions might make when they're trying to comply with the safeguards rule?
Yeah. Look, the most common pitfalls are things like underestimating the scope of the role. It's not just about IT security, it's about creating a culture of security throughout the institution. The other one is neglecting risk assessments. Really, you should be conducting risk assessments on a regular basis. And it's vital for identifying and addressing the vulnerabilities. Also, inadequate employee training. Employees are often the weakest link in security. So a comprehensive security training is going to be crucial. Also, the other one is relying on outdated technologies. Look, keeping up to date with the security tools and practices is going to be essential to get ahead of the threats. And lastly, I would say failing to document procedures. So having a documentation is key for demonstrating compliance and ensuring consistency.
This is all great stuff, Robin. Thanks so much for sharing that. That concludes our session today. I want to thank everybody who has joined us for joining. If you have any questions about the safeguards rule or any other questions related to cybersecurity or internal audit, please reach out to Robin or I on LinkedIn. We're happy to take a call anytime.
Thanks all.